I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Caroga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to kick your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. False word. Important news are needing new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or seen tall words proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Caroga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5 Qapla, and welcome to BedLife for Monday, January 4th, 2021. Yes, the first Monday BedLife of the new year. Yesterday was the anniversary of Deep Space Nine's first episode, Emissary. I can't believe I missed it. But yesterday, Sunday, it wasn't a Sunday, but DS9 premiered 28, something like that. 30 years ago yesterday. Crazy. 1993 or 92. A long time ago yesterday. Either way, I missed it. Sorry about that. It's been a good year. Technically, the bad stuff hasn't happened this year, but still finding out about more bad things that happened last year, and it took a bite out of me this weekend. It really a couple of things hit me pretty hard, and I know I've spoken about it to a point with some of you guys, but a coworker who was a coworker I used to talk with on Facebook fairly often. He'd comment on my post. I'd sometimes comment on his. We had, when we were together in person, we were good friends. When we were on Facebook, we had different politics, so we'd often take jabs at one another's politics. And, frankly, with the way the country had become so divided over the last year or so, I just stopped even, bringing it up even as a joke on his side. And he brought up a couple of things on my side, and I would like it or reply to it, but that was about it. And I didn't even notice that he stopped posting back in October. And I don't know exactly when he passed away, but I'm thinking it was recent because I found out through another coworker that they went, and this guy, he was never married, so he didn't have any family. Whatever family he may have had, he really didn't speak to, last I had heard. they were in a different state than where he was living. He was kind of alone like that. I mean, he was friends with his coworkers. I don't know. I'm sure he had other friends, but I didn't remember meeting them. And so it was his coworkers who were friends, who lived closer to him, that ended up releasing his ashes into the Pacific Ocean. And that's how I found out that he passed. And it hit me hard. I mean, he was older than me, but not, not super old. I don't know why he died. Could it have been the virus? It could have been. Could it have been suicide? It could have been. I honestly have no idea. Nobody's talking. Nobody's saying. So I'm leaning towards it maybe being suicide. I don't know. I find when people don't talk and give a reason, that's usually the reason. And if whatever the case is, it's just very sad that we had grown apart that much that I didn't know. I would have thought he was my most active former work coworker on Facebook, and months went by and I didn't even realize he had stopped posting. And then I found out that a son of a coworker had died as well, and it was its own tragic circumstances that I can't repeat. But it was a 1-2 punch over the weekend. I called a different coworker to say, "Hey, didn't you hear about this coworker?" And they said, "No, I didn't know about that coworker, but I heard about this other coworker's kids." I'm like, oh my God, kid. Oh my God. So I got 1-2 punch, and it was now both of these people died in 2020. But it was 2021 when it hit me. If we cut ties with 2020 and leave the past in the past, we can find a way to move on. Mom Frey said, no, we can't cut 2020 off because nephew O'Fray was born in 2020. So yeah, we have to remember 2020. We can't erase 2020 from the timeline, else nephew O'Fray would be erased as well. So yeah, but you know what I mean. Dee Myers, Qapla Dee Myers, first in the chat, says Qapla Birdo Pray 5. How are you and the family doing today? Thank you, Dee. Physically, so, and emotionally, less so. But thank you. Joseph Patrick says, but that's not 4 p.m. Yes, I'm sorry. I said after 4 p.m. I chose my words carefully when asked what time today earlier on Captain Track stream. I said after 4 p.m. because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to commit to a 4 p.m. Time, and just the way things worked out, I couldn't. Now, I said 4:45 in the YouTube time, but I came on a few minutes early, but I see that didn't stop everybody from calling me late. So, whatever. Professor Brainy Spack says, Joseph, Patrick, join in the chorus. Hashtag Bird is always late. Dee Myers says, when Birdo Pray 5 is on time, he's late. And when he's late, he's really late. That's fair. Rock Solid Productions says, hashtag Bird's late. Hashtag Dear Bob. Hashtag Hail on Turdistan. Hashtag Shut Up Wesley. Hashtag. Okay, we will be doing Dear Bop. We'll be getting to Dear Bop, Rock Solid. Obviously, we're a little bit way out, but we'll get there. And Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica, formerly the LDG Pixelate channel, says, hi all. While we wait for Bird to be late, hope you enjoy my latest Pixels cut on Chris Chinball killing a TARDIS And I did watch the 2-minute video. I don't know what Doctor Who is, but I could tell it was a Doctor Who video. Looked clever, but I'm not really in a position to tell. Everyone else seemed to really enjoy it. D.D. Myers is Joseph. Professor Brainy Specs, greetings and hello to you both. Professor Brainy Specs has just remembered the Doctor killed all the TARDISes at one point. And greetings to D.D. Myers. Caroga Knight says, Viva Caroga. Viva Silent Movies. I suppose that's a reference to the fact that earlier today on the Bird will Prey 5X channel, I was playing Space Engineers, and I wasn't intending to stream it at all, but I heard the little voice in the back of my head said, maybe you should record this in case you crash. I wasn't expecting to crash. And then another voice said, that recording takes too long. Why don't you just start streaming to the Bird will Prey 5X channel? And if anybody watches, they watch. And if you crash, you get it recaptured anyway, and you can go back and edit it. So that's what I did. I started a quick live stream through StreamYard, and I was landing the ship. But it turned out, for whatever reason, and I still don't know the reason, StreamYard just wasn't. StreamYard was showing me that my microphone was picking up, but YouTube was not playing the audio from my microphone. Now, 10 minutes later, I was on a different StreamYard stream, and the same microphone was working absolutely fine. So I have no idea what the problem was. I still don't. You got to see me crash, and it was a spectacular crash. Then I crashed my base. I was trying to move to the crash site to make recovery of the ship easier. It was not. I was rushing, this was just supposed to take 5 minutes. I was supposed to land, connect this stuff to my ship, and exit the game. And it ended up taking 45 minutes to do what should have taken 5 minutes. And that's part of the reason why I was 45 minutes late today on the stream. But for those who did watch, and if you don't, you can find it on the Bird will Prey 5X channel still, although it might need to finish processing before you see it. You can still see a wonderful, spectacular crash from outer space when I realized that my ship was just too heavy to land in the atmosphere. And I completely forgot that I had parachutes on the ship just for this very scenario. But I didn't deploy the chutes until we were just above the ground. They didn't have time to deploy, and I destroyed one ship, and then I severely damaged my mobile base trying to rescue what was left. And now the whole point was going to space was to get uranium. I got a shit ton of uranium. It was all destroyed in the crash. So I still have no uranium. I have some gold and some silver and some magnesium, but no uranium, which really sucked. But for those watching, and everybody was messaging me, telling me they couldn't hear it, and there was nothing I could do about it. I'm sorry. I tried everything I could. I'm 99% sure it was a YouTube issue. Mark Krell Qapla says, I give your pixel cut a try. And DD says it was wonderful to LDG. Geeks enjoyed Nerdrotica says, thank you, DD. DD says, Professor Brandy Specs, very true indeed. And LDG anytime, brother. Hail LDG. He's the man. And then I said, thank you so much for subscribing, son of a red shirt, because as I was getting this whole, software set up, it came across that son of a red shirt had subscribed. I assumed to this channel, could have been the X channel, not 100% sure. But either way, thank you. DD says 20 minutes in change before showtime. Well, I started a little early, DD. Yosef says hashtag birds late. DD says wonder if and when Bird set a date for Charlie to take over, we need fresh blood. There's no set date. Dee Dee Myers is hashtag Birds late, hashtag Birds late, Birds late, Birds late. Chris Perzer, Qapla Chris Perzer, says, I thought Bird was the only Klingon wizard in known existence, meaning he can never be late, nor can he be early. He arrives precisely when he means to. That is more like it. Joseph says, don't forget to send Bird a dear bop. Rock Solid says, WTF. How many more times is Bird of Prey going to change the time before he's not late? Hashtag Birds late. Hashtag thank Bird of Prey 5 for Joe Biden. Hashtag Caroga lies. Hashtag. And I see Rock Solid is again doing another giant dear bop spam in the chat. Dee Dee says, Chris, hail brother, and how are you doing today? Not Ryan Johnson says, hello and Qapla, hail Caroga. Smash that like button. Thank you, Not Ryan Johnson. Cinnabon Bunny, hello Cinnabon Bunny. I hope you saw the crash. I hope you saw the crash in Space Engineers. Todd Tyler, Qapla Todd. Yosef says, Dee Dee Myers, just so you're hello. And have a hello from me too. Chris says, Dee Dee, good. All good, thanks. Just getting ready for tax season. Oh, geez, tax season. Yeah, another thing to look forward to. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Qapla, greetings, Mike Richards. Captain Track says, wow, so late. Rock Solid says, hashtag even when he's early, Bird is late. Captain Track says, hey to Cinnabon, and hello to Yosef. Super Blubberpuss says, hello everyone. Qapla, Super Blubberpuss. Captain Track says, hello to Chris. And Josh Reed says, no sound again. Lies. I can see the sound. Rock Solid says, Chris, tax season, is that what we're calling Bird of Prey streams now, since they are so taxing? Chris Perzer says, Nicole DeBoer can always put a smile on anyone's face. Absolutely. Rock Solid is saying, dear Bops. Chris Perzer says, Captain Trek, hail my friend. Rock Solid says, Chris, Nicole DeBoer couldn't face up to Terry Farrell's corset. Wow, Rock Solid. Dee Dee says, Captain Trek, hello. Uh-oh. I accidentally deleted a message by Josh Street. Sorry, Josh Street. Just hit the mouse the wrong second. I'll read it. Dee Dee says, hello, so you got a great show, though. Mountain of Elysium says, greetings, Bird of Prey, Mom Prey, Sis Prey, Nephew Prey, a.k.a. Ballbuster O'Prey, and fellow nerds. Qapla Mountains of Elysium. And then Josh Street said, a long time ago, in a small room with a big Bird of Prey, DS9 first shown on a small black and white TV. No, it wasn't black and white. It was a color television. Chris Perzer says, rock solid, but he could help to take her off the corset. Yosef gives a live long and prosper to Captain Track. Mountains of Elysium says, and greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. Aroo! Sassy's asleep. Rocksod says, Chris, but sometimes what is left to the imagination is more stimulating than what's visible. I guess if whatever. Mountains of Elysium says, Bird of Prey, if you use the Julian calendar, you still have a few days. So you haven't missed the anniversary of DS9. Yeah, but we don't use the Julian calendar. Uncle Remus says, New York confirms UK coronavirus variant in man with no travel history. Stay safe, Bird and family. Thank you, Uncle Remus. My phone actually beeped about that just before I went live. Captain Trax says, Mountain Elysium, greetings. Josh reaches Bird of Prey. You need to stop taking down pictures of people. They end up on the other side if you do. You need to stop taking down pictures of people. they end up on the other side if you do. What pictures of people did I take down? Mountains of Elysium says, greetings to my friend Captain Track. Captain Track says, in my stream you said about 4 p.m. At the end of your stream, I said after 4 p.m. Mountains of Elysium says, yes, 4 p.m. and Bird of Prey didn't specify what time zone because it would mean Eastern, okay? Anytime I say a time, it means Eastern, unless I specifically give a time zone after it. Darth Maul says, Bird of Prey, Happy New Year to you and your family. How did the orphans celebrate New Year? The orphans don't know it's New Year. They don't really have the same concept of time, have months and days and weekends and weekdays and holidays. It's very different. To them, it's just another day. It's fine. It's better they don't know what they're missing until they grow out of the system. Then it's all a nice surprise. Moxley fan says, hello, Bird. Qapla Moxley fan. Uncle Remus is Bird of Prey. Have you watched any of the Stand miniseries on CBS All Access? IMO editing of the series is terrible. Story is all over the place. Flashbacks, flash forwards, confusing. I have not. I'm no fan of Stephen King, and to be honest, I just don't give a crap. A mini series about a pandemic. It's like we've been living it. I don't care. If it was a time of the year when there was nothing on TV, nothing on Netflix, nothing on, Hulu, maybe I'd watch The Stand, and maybe I will in the future. But I mean, I just binged Cobra Kai. The Expanse is coming out for the next few weeks, at least once a week. Star Trek Discovery is ending this week, but it's been coming out. We have, right now, I'm in the middle. I paused it, but there was some movie on Netflix called Midnight Sky, which so far seems halfway decent. And God knows what else. There's a lot of other things out there to watch that are just building up. I'm not going to go looking for The Stand. I've heard, nothing good about it. But if you enjoy it or you enjoy hating it, good for you. You should write something, do something. I know Deej Odyssey, he did a video on The Stand. I suggest, anybody who watches it, say something about it. Now, I put up a review last night, and it was probably the wrong night to do it, but I had some extra time. So I put out my first non-Star Trek review in many, many months. And it was a review of season 3 of Cobra Kai, a spoiler-free review that you had to, it assumed you watched seasons 1 and 2 and the trailer for season 3. So there were no spoilers other than those. And even for seasons 1 and 2, I was very light with the spoilers. I was very happy to do it. I was happy to talk about it and get it out there. By far, my worst performing video in 6 months, a year. I mean, my Star Trek Discovery reviews generally were breaking 100 views in the first 20 minutes. This has been up almost 24 hours, has yet to hit 80 or 90 views. It is by far the worst performing video I've done in the longest time. But edited video, uploaded video. Live streams, they don't get a ton of traffic. But the uploaded videos, they used to get a lot more traffic. And the Star Trek Discovery one still do. But this Cobra Kai, worthless. I mean, I might as well delete it and put it on a different channel. But I'm not going to do that. Now, it is possible that because I released it on a day I don't usually release videos, and I released it in a Sunday night, when so many other people are streaming that it was just bad timing. The algorithm likes consistency. So I was kind of like, well, if I put this out here, otherwise I have to wait till Monday morning. I guess I could have waited till Monday morning. It really wouldn't have mattered, but I think it really would have made a difference in the numbers? Not really. Not really. So it is what it is. I know many people out there are watching Cobra Kai. I know Cobra Kai is a super search topic on YouTube, but I'm guessing people are looking for Cobra Kai theories, Cobra Kai reviews, like actual episode reviews, and not just overview and feelings without going into spoilers on the topic. So you live, you learn, such as life. We'll deal. We'll deal. Mountain says yes after 4 p.m. and Berto Prey 5 didn't specify time zone. God Emperor of Caroga is never late, nor is he early. He arrives exactly when he intends to. Thank you, Mountains. Darth Maul says, Berto Prey, Happy New Year to you, your family. I read these. How did the orphan celebrate New Year? I read that. Moxley fan. Hello, Moxley fan. The Stand. Of course. How did I go backwards? How did everything go backwards? Yosef says you committed to 4 p.m. on your own stream. Oh, no. Oh, you wrote it down. I was going to say, how could I commit? Nobody could hear my voice. Well, you probably didn't hear me saying that this is a estimate, not a set time, because you couldn't hear the audio. Apologies, Joseph. Apologies. Chris Perzer says, rock solid. I missed your previous tax statement. Very well said. We can never call out the overlord. Uncle Remus says, moon. That spells bad editing. Moon. What's this Facebook whatnot says, hail and good day to Chris Perzer. Incoming drop bears and a bunch of koala emojis. Professor Brainy Specs says Crash Opry 5. What's this Facebook whatnot says Hail the Mountains of Elysium, Uncle Remus, and Darth Maul. Chris Burger says good day to What's this Facebook whatnot. Appreciate the drop bears. We can always send a few over to Aussie Opry. Oi. 47 Yorktown says hello, young sir. Qapla 47 Yorktown with the Carogan flag. Uncle Remus says hail to What's this Facebook whatnot. What's this face says hail to Captain Track. Moxley says, good day, mates. Good day, mates. Super Blubberpuss says, Bird of Prey. What's the link to your other channel? Just go to birdopray5.com and there will be a link to the Bird of Prey 5X channel. Joe Biden just donated $1. Gods be with you and also with you. Amen and a woman. And happy baby animation. Oh my God, this whole amen controversy. For those of you who don't know, some idiot in Congress who's opening up the prayers for this new Congress session. At the end of the prayer, they said amen and a woman. And it's bad enough that the guy said it. What's far more infuriating and scary is that so many cheered. So many cheered, not just in Congress, where you hope they were smart, but of course across, the internets and YouTubes and Twitter and just idiots on the street. Hey, the guy said amen and a woman. Do you think that's good? And random idiot on the street says, yeah, equality, of course it's good. Of course, nobody explains to idiot on the street that amen has nothing to do with man. It is a Hebrew word, amin or aman. I don't know how to pronounce it in Hebrew, but it means, truth or so say we all, something to that effect. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with men. It's not saying yes, men. It's not saying as men we agree. It's saying so say we all, has absolutely nothing to do with gender. To say a woman is just a stupid. Okay, it is the pinnacle of ignorance, and then the half the people are cheering it, cheering ignorance, and it makes you lose all faith in humanity. But let's face it, if you made it to January 4th, 2021, you lost your faith in humanity long ago. Super Blubberpuss, again, I'm sorry. Just go to the website birdoprey5.com. And in fact, I've made some updates recently to birdoprey5.com. I just made it a little easier to use. I moved some things around. But you'll see a link a line that says YouTube channels. There's a link to the Birdo Prey 5 channel, a link to the Mamo Prey channel, and a link to the Birdo Prey 5X channel. And that's the easiest way to go to Birdo Prey 5X and subscribe, because unlike the main channel, I don't have an easy to remember URL for the Birdo Prey 5X channel, although I guess I could set one up, because I do have almost 200 subscribers on Birdo Prey 5X, which was a tremendous increase over the last couple of months. We were around 150 for the longest time, and we're almost at 200. So that was nice. Also nice is that the main channel, as guys remember, I lost 50 subscribers on the night of New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, I went to bed with 2550. I woke up with 2501. So 49 subscribers gone in the blink of an eye. And now we are, and hopefully we keep going, but we're, I believe, at or past 2510 as of last I checked. So we'll see what happens. Josh Street puts in the link to birdoprey5.com. Thank you. Roxout says, Bird of Prey, amen, has no literal translation. It's more of an affirmation, or if anything, a sign of agreement. Yeah, well, according to what I read, it had, was like, so say we all, something to that effect. And I see I missed a lot of chats. I jumped. Where are we? Joseph puts in a link for Super Blubberpuss to the Birdo Prey X channel. Well, thank you. That's another way. That's another way to do it. Thank you, Joseph. What's this Facebook Whatnot says, I was concerned somewhat that Aussie Prey might recognize them, but then I remembered the dodgy accent and figured we were safe. I recognize what you meant by drop bears, but Aussie Prey was busy. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird of Prey is always late. Hashtag Bird of Prey 5 is always late. Hashtag hail on Caroga. Super Blubberpuss, thanks Joseph. Geeks enjoy Nerdrotica, says rock solid. Did the advice help your video yesterday? You tried to recover. What's this Facebook Whatnot says, hail Cinnabon and Joseph. And rock solid production. Super Blubberpuss says, thanks to Joseph. Moxley fan, Qapla again, Moxley, says, I believe Gary wants hashtag Dear Bop. Don't get your panties in a bunch. Yeah, we'll get to Dear Bop. Joseph says, Yitza Lemons posted a video of his works on graphic design. Please show support and subscribe. Absolutely, guys. Yitza, who does all of our cool avatars and YouTube images, created a new image for, well, he's got already a short video up for Captain Track, and he's got a video up for Commodore Ty. And just today or yesterday, he put up a video for meteorologist Katie, and he goes all through creating her custom avatar, which is really cool looking. And through the course of the video, he also puts up little facts about the person, like where they were born and stuff. It keeps it interesting, it keeps it entertaining, and it's just fascinating to watch somebody with a talent like Yitza draw basically from scratch a beautiful picture or digital painting, and just makes it look so easy. Like, yeah, you just put down some colors, you use a brush, and all of a sudden you've got depth, you've got shadows, you've got you got all this stuff. And I like, man, the first picture looks good, which were just boxes colored in, but then he makes it look really good, really fast, all within like 10-15 minutes. And it's like, my God, I thought I was untalented when it came to graphic design to begin with, and this just confirms it. Chris Berger says, what's his face? Yes, I've noticed and often wondered how Aussie can be so much like a South African. We are indeed safe. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird of Prey, can you see sound? That's a trick. I can see the waveform and the amplitude, yes. It's weird. It's weird. Rock Solid says, hashtag all time zones matter. Birdo Prey 5 is a chronoist. Josh Reed says, Birdo Prey, you took down a picture of Sean Connery, and then oh, that's right. And then we find out that he passed away. You're right, I did. And there was a picture of that guy up on that wall. Son of a bitch. I'm pretty sure he was in there somewhere. No. Larry. I don't remember if he was. I know he took a couple of pictures that were there that I used. I don't know if he was in the pictures. But Larry did. Absolutely, Larry took at least one of the pictures, possibly two of the pictures. Actually, I'm 99% sure he was probably in the picture as well, the Bahamas picture. But in our defense, it's a group picture with like 50 people. Okay, so, But yeah. Jedi Bill says, hello, Bird of Prey, Qapla, brother warrior. Qapla, Jedi Bill, good to see you. 47 Yorktown says, what's this face? Not greetings. Robert Rose says, Qapla today, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, and Sassy. Hope all is going well. It's not too bad, Robert. It's been better, but you know what? Let's keep things positive. Rock Solid again with the Dear Bops. We'll get you to Dear Bops. Saul Leibowitz, executive producer Saul Leibowitz, says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, I don't want to watch your Cobra Kai review until I watch the series. Sorry. Don't worry, I understand, even though it is mostly spoiler free. Absolutely watch the series. If you're going to watch the series, watch the series before watching the review. I won't take it personally. I just hope that you enjoy watching the series, because I'll be honest, I don't know yet of anybody who's told me they haven't liked Cobra Kai. I'm sure someone is out there that hasn't liked it and they're just afraid to say it. But even Mama Prey enjoys Cobra Kai. What?
Sat riveted.
She was riveted. Not only she didn't just like it. She was riveted. Riveted.
I don't like karate.
And she doesn't like karate. She really couldn't give a shit about Karate Kid, probably. You watched the movie. It didn't mean much to you. But Cobra Kai, I'll be honest, The Karate Kid would not have been in my top 20 movies. It probably wouldn't have been in my top 50 movies. It was a good movie. It was an okay movie. I enjoyed it, at the time. But it would not be in my list of movies to take, if I was stranded on an island or something. But this Cobra Kai, oh, hell yeah, in my top 10 series of all times, easily.
If you hadn't put it on,
Mm-hmm.
I would find myself looking
Right.
never would I pick Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Mao is saying, if I hadn't put it on, she never would have thought to watch it. But once we did. Captain Trax has put the link in now to Bird of Prey channel, as somebody already has. Yosef did. Thank you. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, your experiences with Cobra Kai is exactly what I saw with my lower standards videos. Not something your channel is known for. So either take it as growing pains or cut bare. Well, I'm not. Well, I mean, listen. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna take it. I will continue to do reviews about things other than Star Trek. I was probably a little late with the review. It was probably some bad timing. I didn't expect my Cobra Kai review to get the numbers that my Star Trek Discovery reviews get, because there are people who come to my channel specifically to seek out the Discovery reviews, and nobody knows me for even reviewing Cobra Kai. But did I think it was going to be the worst video in months and months and months? No, I thought maybe I'd have 200 views by now as opposed to 800 or 1,000, but it's okay. Jedi Bill with $1 donation. Qapla Jedi Bill and got happy baby. Jedi Bill says, Hail Turtistan. I'm going back to bed. I can't wait to do my Twilight marathon next month. You know what? I'm starting to think that was not Jedi Bill. Okay, that's the donation where anybody can use a fake name. I'm saying Jedi Bill would never hail Turtistan. Jedi Bill is never gonna do a Twilight Zone marathon, and Jedi Bill is not going back to bed. Not at this point. I doubt it. So I think that's a bunch of fake news. Jedi Bill says, hello, Captain, and hail Caroga. That's it. Hail Caroga. Captain Trax says, Mountains, you suck up to Bird of Prey 5. Wow. Uncle Remus says, no such thing as a bad Cobra Kai review video. Only bad Cobra Kai review creator. Super Blubberpuss says, Bird of Prey, I enjoyed Cobra Kai and also enjoyed the review. Thank you, Super Blubberpuss. Thank you so much. What do we got here? Chris Perzer, thank you, Chris. Always putting in links, puts in another link to the Bird of Prey 5X channel. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, the woman comment was from an ordained frickin' minister. Just because you're an ordained minister doesn't mean you have some deep understanding of language or philosophy. I am, in fact, an ordained emissary from the Church of Humanism. That doesn't really mean much. Although if you need to renew your vows, I'll do it on. I probably can't, but I'll do it online just for you. Josh Street puts in a link. The best. No. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. Idiot in Congress. Can you be more specific? And forgot a binary. And he's forgot a binary. Yes. I was gonna say he's if he wants to say a man and a woman, what about the people who identify as neither or both? Jedi Bill says, hello, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Warrior, and hail Caroga. Hail Caroga, Jedi Bill. I get to it. It takes a little time. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, amen has no literal translation, right? Read that one. Josh Street with the link to birdofprey5.com. Thank you again, Josh Street. Where are we? A lot of Bird of Prey 5s. Super Blubberpuss is Bird of Prey. Thanks. I subbed to the other channel. Thank you so much, Super Blubberpuss. Darth Maul, yes. Says, referring to a woman controversy, Bird of Prey, whoever said ignorance was bliss was on to something. To cheer at something, so I'll conceive shows how ignorant, nay stupid our reps are. Yep. Not Ryan Johnson says, hashtag birds on time, hashtag everyone else is too early. I like it, not Ryan Johnson. Captain Trax is Bird of Prey. You left out it's a Reverend Emmanuel Cleaver, as he was the pastor of the St. James United Methodist Church in Kansas City, Missouri, from March 1972 until June 2009. Well, I didn't leave it out, Captain Track. I completely forgot, didn't know, didn't care. Really doesn't matter who it was to me personally, but I can understand if it's from your hometown, you might have stronger feelings about it. Jedi Bill says, hello, Bird of Prey. Qapla, brother warrior. Do you see me? I see you, Jedi Bill. It just takes a while to get to the chats. But you don't worry. I see it. I see it. Darth Maul's Bird of Prey also shows where our populace as a culture to vote for these guys. They con to represent democracy. You know, let's not jump too much. This could have been a political move. And I still stupid, don't get me wrong. But there's a half a shot, I'd say, that this particular person knows that saying a woman is just stupid. But he knows that the people who voted for him are not particularly smart. And they would, they would get more out of him saying a woman. He'd get more votes next time than he would lose by just saying it. So maybe he did it because he felt it was politically advantageous to him to do so. Now, that still doesn't make him as stupid. No, but does it make him a bad representative? In my opinion, yes. So I don't know if he'd rather be bad at his job. Well, let's put it this way. I don't know if he'd rather be a liar or an idiot, but neither is good. Rock's odds' Bird of Prey is untalented, confirmed. I agree. I agree. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey, not Ryan Johnson. Not Ryan Johnson's crazy. Hashtag not Ryan Johnson needs to learn how to tell time. Yeah, that was the guy who passed away, Thomas, Larry. Darth Maul's is Bird of Prey of a Carogan orphan, female ages out. Does she become your wife? Not generally, no. And Jedi Bill says, hey, Bird of Prey 5, Qapla, please read this or I'm unsubscribing. This is my sixth hello to you. Hail Caroga. Jedi Bill, I read them all. I just was so far behind. It takes a long time before I get to them. I'm not skipping you, Jedi Bill, believe me. Don't worry. I hope you haven't unsubscribed already. It just takes time. Josh reads as Thomas Bird found out his old work friend. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. He didn't hear. Thank you, Josh Street. Captain Trax is Joseph. I have lost subscribers. Probably a YouTube thing. I don't think I pissed off anyone today. Chris Burgess says it's high praise when Mamo Prey is complimenting Cobra Kai. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And Jedi Bill, I hope you didn't tip $1. Oh, wait, that wasn't the real Jedi Bill. I was going to say, I hope you didn't tip $1 to make me say your greeting because I was going to get to it. But yeah, that was the fake Jedi Bill that tipped $1. Mountains of Elysium says, on Shronmore, I often lost 10 to 20 subscribers a day, even when I release nothing, and often within 1 minute of uploading a video, 7 or 8 times in a row, I'd lose exactly 6 subscribers. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. Jedi Bill says yes, but after me saying hello 5 times, Professor Brainy Specs. Yeah, but I was reading the first one by the time you had posted the 5th. Not Ryan Johnson says bird of prey, hashtag fail Turdistan. Caroga forever, absolutely. Absolutely. Church of Humanism, Thomas. I don't know. I found them online. They're like, here, you are now an ordained emissary. I could choose if I wanted to be minister or whatever. Obviously, I chose of emissary because I thought, it was cool to be an emissary because of Deep Space Nine. So that's why I chose emissary, and I have the power to marry people. Now, of course, the website just wanted me to buy their certificates, but their certificates don't mean anything. I can print my own. Joseph Patrick is also stuck at 60 subscribers. It is horrible that people are not subscribing despite him not posting. Joseph Patrick has the least offensive content on YouTube, people. Supreme Chancellor says wearing a red shirt. Oh my, don't go on any away missions. No away missions for me today, Supreme Chancellor. Thank you for the lookout. I do worry every time I put the shirt on. Rock Solid says bird of prey. It's not Missouri, it's Missouri. Hashtag Dear Bop, Dear Bop, Dear Bop. Okay. We're close. We're close to the Dear Bops. Dan23 says bird of prey. Tanya Roberts, Bond Girl, Stacy Sutton from 1985's A View to Kill has died Sunday, age 65. Sorry to hear that, Dan. Thanks for the update. Joseph Patrick says amen is a biblical Hebrew word. It is a word simply meaning may it be so. Captain Trax says Professor Brainy Specs, how far behind is chat is bird of prey? Well, I skipped quite a few that didn't have my name in them, so I'm only about 5 minutes behind. Mountains of Elysium says subscribe to the man from the future, Mystic at Joseph Patrick, and a link to his channel. Please contact him for horoscopes and crystal ball readings. Bird of Prey will confirm it. Absolutely. And Jedi Bill with a $5 super chat. The real Jedi Bill. Qapla. Thank you again, Jedi Bill. Says Captain Track says, hail Caroga. And Insomniac Soup is the best show around. Hail indeed. Hail Caroga. Hail to the soup. And there's Captain Shran saluting Insomniac Soup, the best show around. And Jedi Bill, thank you, Jedi Bill. Commander Shran salutes you. As Captain Track, I assume he salutes you too. And yes, Mountains of Elysium puts in a link to subscribe to Joseph. Dan23 says, make it so. Maybe that's what amen translates to. Make it so. I like that translation. Thomas Potts says, hello. Hello, Thomas. Joseph says, lol to Mountains of Elysium. Thanks. Rock Solid says, we're getting to Dear Bop. John Araki says, happy bedwife, happy BedLife. Dan23 says, bird of prey, are you looking forward to the next Marvel films, 2021 Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals? I'm not sure anymore. Absolutely no, I'm not, Dan. I'll be honest, I don't have the slightest effing clue what any of those movies are supposed to be about. I mean, Marvel, I know Iron Man, I know Spider-Man, I know Thor, and things like that. I don't know the Eternals. To be honest, I didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy were until the movie came out. Fertile Prey 5 just donated $5. Oh, son of a bitch. Hello, world. It's Berto Prey 5 here. I will once again confirm to you how much passion I have for sucking on hard things. Yes, you heard that right, and I said it myself. If you don't think this is really me, know this. I crash all the time in games. That's how you know. I was paid to say that previous line by someone, a very generous $5 donation. So I hope you got your money's worth. None of that counts for quoting me. Return the money to myself since it came from me. That would have been a smart idea. The Mama Prey is a step ahead of me. But yeah, I have no idea what those Marvel movies are even about, Dan. This goes beyond my Marvel experience. Now, if it's they come out, I'll look at the previews. If they look interesting and they're on a streaming service, I guess I'll watch them. If they don't look interesting, Darth Maul says, Bird of Prey, have you watched Drunk 3PO's interview with the mighty Gina Carano? Thoughts? I have not. I've heard about it, but I haven't watched it. I just haven't had the time. I wasn't planning on watching it either. I mean, he certainly gets the thumbs up from me for getting it. Respect, mad respect. But I honestly wasn't intending to watch it. But now that you say that, maybe I should. Captain Trax says, hail on Caroga, and you mean Morning Brew. No, I'm pretty sure he meant Insomniac Soup. Thomas Potts says, raise Caroga, but not in that way. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, Spider-Man 3 is coming after those films. Well, it's in my opinion, it should be coming before those films.
I've been monitoring your communications with Starfleet Command, Captain.
Joseph Patrick with a €2 super chat. Qapla says 3.175 millimeter haircut, shaved. Good to see you on camera. Oh, yes. This is the first time I'm appearing on camera in 2021. So thank you, Joseph. Yes, we buzzed the hair yesterday, 1/8 of an inch, a 1/4 of an inch for the beard. And I shaved yesterday, although I got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow coming in already. I told you guys I was going to try to be on camera today. I was able to make good on that at least. I do like being on camera, and I was on camera for technically, I guess I was on camera for the Wonder Woman. I didn't do a Wonder Woman review. I was on camera for the Cobra Kai review, which I put up last night, but it wasn't live, but it still had the shaved. And the beard was a little less because it was 24 hours ago I recorded it. Carlos is sorry for the loss of your ship. It's okay, Carlo. I'm glad other people were able to enjoy it. And they didn't have to, have their children leave the room because of the large number of loud curse words I was screaming as that ship slammed into the ground, into the ice. Oh man, we lost so many. Just evaporated. Jump drive, tons of uranium. I never landed a ship that packed to the brim. I'd pretty much filled up the entire ship with resources. I just assumed that ship was so overpowered that it could land without issue. I probably should have checked it in half gravity to make sure we were slowing down. And if I couldn't, I should have just aimed the best I could and released the parachutes at 1,000 or 2,000 meters and just glid down slowly to the ice lake. Now I would have been a distance from anywhere I needed to be, but I could have emptied the ship one cargo container at a time, and then once we were light enough to take off, go ahead and then bring the ship to proper docking. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but forgot to do any of that stuff because I was having trouble with the audio. If I wasn't having trouble with the audio, I do think I would have remembered to release the parachutes. I do. Where are we? Rock Solid says bird of prey, hoary sheet. What's the matter, Rock Solid? Professor, wow. Oh, because I read what was put in. And Jedi Bill 797 donates another $5 super chat. Thank you, Jedi Bill. And he says, Professor Brainy Specs and Captain Track say Hail Caroga and BedLife is the first best show around. And then Insomniac Soup. Awesome, Jedi Bill. Thank you so much, Jedi Bill, for that donation. And yes, to Professor Brainy Specs and Captain Track, they both say, Hail Caroga, BedLife is the first best show around, and then Insomniac Soup. I believe you, Jedi Bill. I believe you. And Professor Brainy Specs says, wow, bird of prey loves sucking hard things. Of course I love sucking hard things. Who doesn't? Lollipops, lifesavers, clean coins, whatever. An occasional 9-volt battery. This is normal stuff. Don't make me feel bad about what I choose to suck on. Dan23 says Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings has Michelle Yeoh. Well, that is not gonna make me feel any better about watching it. Yo, hard candy. Yeah, Jolly Ranchers. Thank you, Dan23. A ring pop. You guys remember those ring pops? You put it on your finger. There's a big cherry or watermelon ring, and you sucked it. That was good stuff. I was like king of the neighborhood. I'm like, no, don't kiss my ring. This is for me to suck on. Why don't they make ring pops anymore, Sassy? They do. I know they do. I've seen it on Amazon. I've seen it. I don't want a ring pop. Thank you. I say this, Mom Praise gonna come be a box of 100 ring pops. I do like lollipops. I'm not a fan. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate ring pops, but lollipops, I still enjoy. A good fruit flavored lollipop. No mint. No, I don't like the bubble gum or the Tootsie Roll pop in the middle. Just a solid grape or cherry, even lemon or orange, watermelon, solid flavor lollipop. I enjoy. Moxley Fans is sponsored by Gillette. Gillette, the best a man can get. Well, not after that commercial they did. Rock Solid says F Gillette and their man-hating execs. I'll flick my bick at Gillette. I agree with you there, Rock Solid. Still can't forgive him for that commercial. Captain Trax says hail on Caroga forever. And Carlo puts in an umbrella emoji. Excuse me. Dan23 says, don't diss Birdo Prey 5. Absolutely not. Don't diss me, man. Moxie fan remembers the Ring Pops had catchy tune in the commercial. Ring pop, ring. Okay, that's not the tune. Thomas Potts, hello, Thomas. Again, hello. Jedi Bill says, hello, Carlo. Hail Caroga, and praise Insomniac Soup stream forever. Absolutely. Moxley fan says, hail Bird, how are you, sir? Excuse me, not Moxley. Monty's Folly, a new name in the chat. Qapla, Monty's Folly. Hail to you, sir. I'm doing better than I was at the start of the stream. Let's put it that way. Captain Track with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Captain Track. Although the YouTube has I don't know, it's corrupted. I can't read the message. I think it says, hail Caroga forever. Subscribe to Captain Track. I agree. Guys, check out Captain Track's channel. He does an awesome morning show. And you guys should check out and subscribe to him. Hail Caroga, a loyal Carogan citizen, Captain Track. Monty's Folly says, rename myself after Monty Spatchcock, normally from Anti-Tracker and Life with Matthew. Very cool, Monty Folly. Monty's Folly. We love Anti-Tracker and Life with Matthew. Maybe not arguing with them so much. Well, Anti-Tracker, not so much. But yeah, Life with Matthew, stand-up guy. Moxley fan, now the real Moxley fan, says, sorry I didn't see a Gillette commercial. I retract my chat about Gillette. I don't watch much TV. Don't worry about it, Moxley. It was a few years back. And Rocks Love Productions with a $2 super chat says, if I donate enough, can I claim you as a dependent? No. Well, it depends. Yes, actually, if you were to send me like $1 million, I'll let you claim me as a dependent. Sure. It'd have to be a big amount, though. I don't think YouTube would take it as a super chat. You'd have to do like a direct payment, like Zelly or Venmo or something like that. Rock's Odds' Bird of Prey Gillette commercial was a few years ago. It was late 2018, early 2019. Yeah, okay, so that's close enough to what I said. Hashtag save Nina from Bill, says Thomas. Okay, so let's go ahead and head to everybody's favorite, and I know I'm being facetious. Dear Bop, Rock Solid's favorite for sure. Dear Bop. So let me open this up, refresh the screen, and we've got quite a few Dear Bops waiting for us, of course. So here we go. Am I in the screen? Yes, you can see me. Okay. There we go. Dear Bop, I have the most fascinating scientific discovery. I'm all ears. You see, first I trained a frog to jump. His name was Kermit 296. But for the purposes of simplicity, let's just call him the first Kermit. Let's just pretend he was the first Kermit. So Kermit would jump every time I said jump. I then cut off his right front leg and said jump, and Kermit could still jump 80% his normal distance. I then cut off his left front leg and said jump, and Kermit managed to jump about 30% his normal distance. I think we all see where this is going. And next, I cut off his right hind leg and said jump, and Kermit couldn't jump, but he would try and manage to move in circles a bit. Finally, I cut off his final leg and said jump, and Kermit just laid there doing nothing. I have since repeated the same results with several dozen times. The same results several dozen times with four-legged animals of all kinds. As Sassy runs away. Don't worry, Sassy. We're not going to experiment with you. It is clear to me that frogs must hear through their legs, as they clearly become deaf once their legs are removed. This could revolutionize the lucrative, as seen on TV, budget hearing aid market. I think it's time we move to human trials. I write asking if you can supply a dozen orphans trained to jump on command to see if the results are applicable to humans. And of course, nothing went to waste. All the legs of the previous test experiments were sold to Turdistan as mystery meat, the favorite meat of Turdistan. So this research is not only fascinating, but profitable as well. Sincerely, Wile E. Coyote, super genius. Wile E. Coyote, it sounds like you had a very successful experiment, although I think your hypothesis might be a bit off. I don't think that the lack of legs is what caused them to go deaf. I think it was probably the lack of legs that simply caused them not to be able to jump. But as with most things scientists bring up, I feel that as a government entity, that you're correct, and more research is definitely needed before we can draw any conclusions. So I have submitted it not from a Carogan perspective, but I have made it part of the omnibus spending bill that the U.S. Congress just passed, that you will receive several $1 million to continue this research, because it's vital, obviously, to the as seen on TV budget hearing aid industry. It's a lot of air quotes. A lot of air quotes. As for your request for trained orphans, denied. I'm sorry. Trained orphans are some of our most valuable orphans. So I can't trade them to you for you to butcher them and risk the fact of them becoming ineffective at actually mining uranium, especially not now with the uranium shortage going around Caroga. But I have no doubt with the funding you receive from the United States government, you can buy robots and possibly poor children to experiment on. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, my favorite is dearrxp@gmail.com. Well, if you should do that, Rock Solid. Put out Dear RXP videos. I haven't seen one of those. Monty's Folly says, this scientist sounds rather French and should not be funded. They fund a lot of things, the U.S. government. Carlos says, do frogs have ears? How do they understand English? And do they feel pain of losing a ship in space, engineers? They feel the pain, believe me. It's a very, very painful thing. Dear Bop, this is a scale model of war. Every war ever fought right there in front of you. Because it's always the same. When you fire that first shot, no matter how right you feel, you have no idea who's going to die. You don't know whose children are going to scream and burn, how many hearts will be broken, how many lives shattered, how much blood will spill until everybody does what they are always going to do from the very beginning, sit down and talk. I do not know what that movie or book or whatever that is from. It's clearly from something. You got me. Clearly not one of my top movies of all time. But it does make some poetic sense, yes. However, I would point out that after the war is fought, people are in much different positions than before the war is fought. Since, like, could the US and Japan have talked about it before we went to war in World War II? Well, we were trying to talk it, but clearly it wasn't working. And it wasn't until, we dropped 2 nukes that they were in a position to listen and kind of had to listen. So that's certainly an oversimplification. Dear Bop, I was just watching my favorite YouTuber when I suddenly went deaf. What should I do? Signed, Curious in Columbus, Ohio. Well, first, make sure nobody cut off your limbs. Second, it's possible your favorite YouTuber did an entire stream, a 30-minute stream, without any audio whatsoever. So check a different YouTuber, maybe not your favorite, maybe your second or third favorite, and slowly raise the volume and see if maybe you hear something from that other YouTuber. And if that's the case, more than likely your favorite YouTuber just did a silent stream for the hell of it. Perhaps it was technical malfunction. Carlo says, yeah, Carlo laughs at that. Okay. Dear Bop, my wife found out I am watching porn and now she is angry with me. She even said it is worse than cheating. The thing is, I'm not even watching porn with girls in it, so I do not feel like I'm cheating on her. Anonymous. Yeah. Yeah, she probably, I can understand her feeling and saying why it's worse than cheating. She's probably gonna have to figure out where she went wrong with her own life. And, I hope there's no children involved. And I would start moving out and perhaps looking for your own apartment somewhere, and just give your wife some space and expect to get some papers in the mail fairly soon. Just sign them and let it go. Let it go. Hopefully there's no children. Dear Bob, I have a friend that I am truly concerned about. He seems like a good guy, has an amazing family, loving mother, overall decent guy. The problem is he never delivers on his promises. Say, for example, he was supposed to be somewhere at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Well, this guy is never on time. He is perpetually late. Well, that's very easy. Just set your watch forward by half an hour, backwards by half an hour. And this way, if he says he's starting at 5 p.m., you look at your watch and it says, oh, it's 4:30. And then he starts at 5:30. You look at your watch, it's 5 o'clock. It all works out. Easy peasy. Problem solved. Forever. I wish they could all be that easy. Dear Bop, anonymous here, Bop. My friend is an alcoholic. When I confront him about it, he won't admit it. Then he just gets real defensive. How do I help him before it's too late? Thanks. Anonymous. Well, he's got to want to help. He's got to want to be helped. If he doesn't feel like he's an alcoholic, if he doesn't admit it, he probably hasn't hit rock bottom. So keep car keys away from him. I mean, assuming you own, if you got, you can't keep his own car keys away from him. But if you see him driving drunk, keep the keys away from him. If he is driving drunk, you got to call the police on him. You call the police on him. Or you take his keys and just flush him down a toilet or something where he's not going to get them. Other than that, you just got to kind of let life play out until he's ready for help. You're not going to be able to force him. And from what I hear, you can't force somebody into a rehab. They've got to agree to go. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey game penalty. Carlo Albanese says Bird of Prey, I don't know why you still use Turtistan technologies. And Professor Brainy Specs says Bird of Prey, you are in the professor's penalty box. Power play to Turtistan. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Jeff. The last penalty box I heard of was when Q put Tasha Yar in it in hiding Q. And then things didn't go so well. Dear Bob, if we're not meant to have midnight snacks, why is there a light on in the fridge? That's for after midnight snacks. Also, you have to remember that anybody who has a refrigerator in Alaska, north of the Arctic Circle, it could be dark for weeks or months at a time. So you need that light even in the middle of the day. You need the refrigerator because you have to have heat in Alaska or you freeze to death. You don't want to go outside to get your stuff out of the refrigerator because the animals will get to it. So you have to have a refrigerator inside your house, which is being heated. And then you have to have an air conditioner, which is then being cooled by electricity as well. It's very weird, but it's the only way the whole system works. Thomas's Bird of Prey knows nothing about my favorite sport, unsubbing. Thomas, if that was the bar for unsubbing, everybody would have unsubbed. I know very little about any sport. Obviously, hockey you're talking about, though. I didn't know hockey was your favorite sport. I didn't know you were Canadian. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey. No eating after midnight. You know what happens if you do. That is a gremlin or a mogwai, not a person. And Rocksods is Bird of Prey. You didn't read the entire email about the guy with a friend who was late. There was a slider shooting more message there. Showing more message. He is perpetually late. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let me read this again. I have a friend, dear Bob, I have a friend I'm truly concerned about. He seems like a good guy. He has an amazing family, loving mother, overall decent guy. The problem is he never delivers on his promises. Say, for example, he was supposed to be somewhere at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. While the guy is never on time, he is perpetually late. How can I help my friend out? I don't want him to be a procrastinator, and I sure don't want him to disappoint people like the average Turtistani does. Do we need to get him a timer? Tell him he needs to be somewhere before he actually needs to be there. Cut off his access to Frank and Freddie makeout movies. No! Bullshit. There is no such thing as Frank and Freddie makeout movies. How can we help him, Bob? You're our only hope. Signed, out of time. Again, my original advice stands. Set your watch a half hour behind, and everything will be perfect forever. And yeah, you kind of pissed me off. Okay, I might have had some other ideas, but you had to bring up the fake news about Frank and Freddie makeout videos. So you get second tier support. Now what the fuck happened? Okay, you get second tier support today. Sorry, I thought I was gonna have to log in again. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks for showing everybody my IP address. Dear Bob, how offensive can the 117th Congress be? The minister who presented the opening prayer concluded with amen and a woman. First of all, how sexist is this? What about those who do not identify as a man or a woman? What about Adira? What about the 9 binaries? Yeah, first thing I thought of after thinking how stupid it was, well, that's probably would cause more problems, because now you're only saying, oh, there's men and women, but saying men and women is transphobic, right? That's transphobic. So he's, there is no right answer. Okay, the right answer was just to keep saying amen. And if he wanted to say, by the way, just so everybody understands, amen translates to make it so, nothing to do with gender. And if he wanted to be really, really progressive, he would have just ended with make it so. That would have been more impressive. And then everybody could have cheered. Make it so. And then next person can try hit it or execute or whatever other stupid thing Tilly's going to come up with for Saru to say. Or Michael Burnham, God forbid. God forbid when Michael Burnham becomes captain. What is Michael Burnham's line going to be? Burn it? I don't know. Dear Bob, did you know the last 3 presidential elections where the GOP won the White House, Democrats in Congress objected to the electoral votes? But now the Republicans are doing the same thing and they're losing their minds. In the end, if the left didn't have double standards, it probably wouldn't have any standards at all. I did not know about that. I'll be honest. It sounds a little fishy, and there is no source. So I would caution anybody before repeating that story to anyone, do a little Googling and find out for yourself if that's indeed true. It saves you a hell of a lot of embarrassment if it's not. It's possible. I'm not saying it isn't, but I personally would verify before passing that on myself. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey game penalty. Now you have 2 players in Professor's penalty box. Turdistan has the superpower play, and the session ended. Son of a bitch. Okay. And there we go. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Dear Scottish O'Prey, are you related to Canuck O'Prey? Scottish O'Prey doesn't know of any bloodlines that cross the pond over to the Canuck side. Those Canadians, they're very, very bad Scotsmen. Oh, I'm O'Prey just confirmed. In 2000 and 2004, what'd you say? Democrats in the House objected to the electoral vote totals in the states. GOP won. Okay. That was George W. Bush. Well, okay, that's interesting. So we got some confirmation. So no, Scottish Opry is not related to Canuck Opry. Nor are either of them related to Aussie Opry. Thomas, is there a video showing Democrats doing it? Okay, I gotcha. I just, in 2017 for Trump too, says Professor Brainy Specs. Okay, just checking. Just saying. It's something that I would double check. Dear Scottish Opry, I'm going to be entering the Highland Games later this year. What advice could you give me on tossing the caper? Well, you want to get your hand firmly around the caper. You also want to look up what the hell is a caper. I have no idea. I think it's the big, heavy ball thing. So if that's what it is, get yourself a good grip. And, I don't think it's necessarily against the rules, but instead of tossing it with your hands, just give it a little, like, underhanded push up, and then give it a good swift kick with your foot, and kick it away instead of throwing it away, because your foot is far more powerful than your arm in general. So that's my best advice. Family advice passed down through many generations of caber kickers in the family. Hey, Bird. And I know even Dear Bob. Hey, Bird, I need some advice. I've been dating this girl for a bit and everything is going well, but I find out she's a flat earther. Should I cut my losses and move on and pretend she isn't nuts? Or just see how it goes and maybe she will turn around? Hail Caroga. Hail Caroga. I see what you did there. I wouldn't give up a good thing over a minor difference like the shape of the earth. Yeah, just one of you will change the other's mind eventually. Just with that. Yeah. And the DNC donated $1 with kissing Dax. This is an illegal stream. You have proven how biased and stupid we are. You will be arrested on January 20th. I'm not surprised. We're going to be right back after this commercial break to finish up the Dear Bops and talk about some TV and movies.
Let it rain, you say to her. We'll have a wonderful day. And you pour the Almaden. Almaden Chenin Blanc. Fragrant, fresh, delicate. It's one of your favorites. We know the wine you like because we've been making wine longer than any other California winery. We know you. We make your wine.
Time takes you beyond the news.
Time flies, and you are there. Time cries, and lets you care. You understand the world we share.
This week, Time helps you understand the spoils of war, the diplomatic and human costs of victory in Lebanon and the Falklands.
Read Time and understand.
Get a little closer. Now don't be shy. You can get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry.
Only Arid has a patent on this formula that fights wetness. No leading deodorant spray stops odor better. And now Arid has a new baby fresh scent. It smells,
Get a little closer with the baby fresh scent of Arid Extra Dry.
Arid fights wetness and odor. Now in a new baby fresh scent.
Good news today at the Ground Round.
You get a whole lot more at the Ground Round. You get a whole lot more.
What's the good news?
USDA Choice Top sirloin steak, just $3.99.
That's good news.
And new golden fried clams, also $3.99.
More good news.
Try our baked lemon butter scrod, just $3.99.
That is good news.
Steak, clam, scrod, just $3.99 each at participating ground rounds.
You get a whole lot more.
Right from the moment. Here's where it all started. History will blow you away. Right from the arts, the symphony, the ballet. There's a lot to fit in. Right from the legend.
Are you the legend? Nah, he's the legend. Hey, I'm just marvelous.
Right from the heart.
To be part of Boston's exciting new spirit, just call 1-800-858-0200.
It'll cheer you right up. Boston is right from the start.
Do it up, happy up.
Get that do it up feeling.
Do it up.
Two great names in jeans do it up in style. With an exciting fall collection of denim and corduroy jeans in a rainbow of colors. Gloria Vanderbilt by Mershani and The Gap bring you the fit that stops traffic wherever you go.
Fall into the Gap.
Have a Gloria Vanderbilt fit at The Gap.
You're cool. You're crisp. You're hard to resist. You're bright. Ooh, refreshing delight. Ooh, you're Canada dry. You're a singular style. You're a reason to smile. You're clever. You're neat. You're never too sweet. Ooh, you're Canada dry. You tickle, you tingle, you make me laugh. Oh, ooh, you're Canada dry. Ooh, you're Canada dry.
Has Wayne Newton split with his wife and hit the jackpot with his new romance? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
Can you lose weight by switching from celery to sweets? This week's
Absolutely.
Enquirer tells you. How can you put office troublemakers in their place? What curse of death and
With
disaster
a,
awaits the Super Bowl?
stun gun.
It's in the Inquirer.
What bizarre surprises popped up on Caroline's wacky honeymoon? Find out in the Inquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
Like me. Like them. Like them. Sorry about that, guys. The Jaloja pill, you know the deal. You know the deal. What's this Facebook? What nonsense? That's more like it. Stupid YouTube dropping words from my posts to chat. Either that or the stupid Android phone. 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. Thomas says the Gap is sexist. What's his face is either Google sucks or Google sucks. Hakeem says she must work out. Kennewick Sapien says lol ginger ale commercials had a toxic man. And what's his face says whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. When Sassy was just a little puppy, she would ask Mom or pray, woof, 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 woof. This is what she would say. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey, did you see the link I put in? I did, Thomas. It's a Twitter link. I see it. And if I open it now, it's going to cause all sorts of issues. But what the heck? What the heck? Democrats are now claiming that objecting to electoral college certification is somehow treasonous. And forget Democrats objected to electoral certifications in 2000, 2004, and 2016. In other words, every time a Republican won this century. Okay, Thomas. I got my like, Thomas. It got my like. Okay, so let's go back to Dear Bops because we weren't finished. Aravik Sonder with $1 super chat. Qapla Aravik Sonder, thank you so much. Just $1. Thank you. No word. Well, it's YouTube, so you can't say anything. Robert Rose Jr. says, "Hail for Caroga." That's no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Excuse me. I'll take it back. Hail for Caroga is not nice either. Dear Bop, Thomas found out I'm DB Cooper. What should I do? Jedi Bill 797. I hope you stash the money somewhere and you just get on the run, Jedi Bill. Maybe shave your head, grow a beard, like a mountain man beard, and I don't know, get a change of clothes, and just I mean, yeah, it'd be unfortunate you gotta leave Nina behind, but you can send her a little money every now and then, unmarked bills, of course, help her out, but you got to hit the road right away, or they'll be coming for you. You just have a few more years before they close the case. When you hit 99 years old or 100 years old, they close the case. So, I'm not saying, you know what? I mean, for legal reasons, my official advice is consult your attorney. Okay, let's keep everything above board. My official advice is consult your attorney. What I said prior was just a what if scenario if you were writing a book, not to be taken literally. But seriously, you need to get on the move. Dear Bob, I saw a gay porn movie the other day, and I gotta tell you, it was awful. Not at all what I'm looking for in a porno. Do you agree, Mr. Hetero? If it was a gay guy porn movie, then yeah, that's bad. I mean, listen, to all their own. Don't get me wrong, but not for me. But as you didn't specify, Mr. Hetero, I hesitate to make a decisive ruling one way or the other. It does remind me, though, of one of my friends who was getting married. One of my good college buddies was getting married. We were in the city for his bachelor party, and we were at another friend's apartment. We were playing cards and hanging out, and because it was a bachelor party, somebody, thought they'd be fun, and they brought pornos to play on the TV. And it was quite a distance from the card table, but people were looking over. And one of the guys was sitting in there, watching more closely than the rest of us. And I'm sure he didn't mean it like he said it, but he's watching, and then like we're I don't know what we were doing. We were busy, I guess, playing cards. And then we hear coming from that room, finally, a guy. Because it had been all women up to that point. And I hear finally a guy, and we just broke out laughing. Like, finally a guy? That's what you were waiting for? Maybe you had to be there. It was hysterical. We still, to this day, if we just say that line, finally a guy, any of us who were there just crack up. I don't know whatever happened to that other guy. He wasn't part of the main group. I assume he went on to live a fulfilling life. I'm not really sure. Oh. Yeah. Okay, it would look like we have finished with the Dear Bops for today. So my wisdom is out there now for all the world to absorb, and we move on. We move on. Let's see. Okay, so for those of you, as I said recently, I put out a Cobra Kai review, spoiler-free review, which is basically just me talking about Cobra Kai for 20 or 30 minutes and how great it is and how I think everybody should watch it. And I continue to think that way, and I hope some of you have started attempting to get your Netflix 30-day free trial or whatever you need to go ahead and watch it. We will repeat the Expanse, because this came up in the comments that they thought me praising Cobra Kai was in some way pulling down from the Expanse or the Mandalorian. No, I didn't mean it that way at all. I will say I definitively put Cobra Kai above both the Expanse and the Mandalorian. Now, they were both good shows, don't get me wrong. But the Mandalorian was 2 seasons. And to be honest, while it wasn't a bad show, it wasn't groundbreaking. I don't even think Mandalorian was a great show. It was a good show. Okay. And like every episode was, you remember Imperial walkers? Here's some walkers. You remember Boba Fett? Here's Boba Fett. You remember the Sand People? Here's the Sand People. And it was just that for, 9/10 of their episodes. And then once in a while, we get something unique to the story. And I don't want to go through the spoilers again, but I'm sure you've already heard them. Yeah, there was a couple of big moments that defined the Mandalorian. We got a few great characters, Gina Carano character being one of them, Grogu and the Mandalorian. But it is not nearly to the level of Cobra Kai. The Expanse might be, but the Expanse is not sit back and laugh, sit back and enjoy, sit back and cry or whatever and enjoy it with your family. The Expanse is like the board game you'd play in high school with your friends that would take you, 6 hours to set up the board, maybe Axis and Allies or whatever game you preferred. 6 hours to set up the board and then another 2 to 3 weeks to finish play. That's the Expanse. That's not to say it's bad. It's just to say you got to do your homework. And your homework involves basically watching all of season 1 and I'd say part of season 2 before you really get any type of solid payoff. Now, I know there's a few people who said they were hooked from the very beginning. I wasn't one of them. I was someone who had to take the word of someone I trusted that said, watch season 1 and then you'll start to get it. And I did. And then season 2 was good. Season 3 was really good. Season 4 was really good. Season 5 is going on now. And we just had some really crazy stuff go on. And if season 5 continues as it is, season 5 could be possibly the best season yet. So, and to be honest, Breaking Bad was the same way for me. Breaking Bad, the first few episodes of Breaking Bad, I didn't understand it. I didn't particularly care for it. I was like, you people are all crazy. And, but by the end or middle of Breaking Bad, I was like, this is great stuff. And even at the end, I liked it. And I know Doomcock and some people, they thought the end of Breaking Bad was bad. I didn't. I thought it was great. No, I couldn't stand the wife. Yeah, but nobody could stand the wife. But so they're just different. Cobra Kai, easy. You start watching Cobra Kai, you're not going to want to stop. You start watching The Expanse, you're probably going to want to stop. And you're going to have to just push yourself through. What else? Oh, Star Trek Discovery, obviously. Season finale is early this Thursday morning. So I will do my best to have my Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Episode 13 finale review up Thursday morning. Because Thursday night, Sis O'Prey is coming with Nephew O'Prey. So I will probably not be doing anything after that. Although Friday I do plan to do a normal bed life. And what else we got? There's a lot of stuff out there. Like I said, I'm watching this movie right now, paused on Netflix, called Midnight Sky. I'm really not sure what's going on. There's something happened on Earth. We don't know what it was, but there's a guy alone at a research station in the Arctic, and that's where the movie starts. And we find out there's a spaceship that went to explore a new moon of Jupiter, and he's really hard trying to contact them because I don't know what's going on. It's possible they're the only living people left in the solar system. I don't know for sure. It's not the greatest movie. I mean, yeah, there's been a couple of woke scenes already, but so far so good. It's something you might want to check out. If you get Netflix before Cobra Kai, definitely check out Lost in Space. There's been 2 seasons, new Lost in Space. There's been 2 seasons of it. The second season is better than the first. The first is a bit woke. The second is less so. But they're both good seasons. I enjoyed them thoroughly. And I suspect most people here would. And, make 2021 a year to return to entertainment if it returns to us. Because it doesn't look like there's going to be too many movies going to movie theaters this year. I almost kicked myself. If I could kick myself, I would. I'd be happy, but I can't kick myself. But if I could kick myself, I feel like I would, because I always dreamed of a world where wouldn't it be great if I got movies the same day they came out in theaters and I could review them and watch them at my home, just like people who go to movie theaters. And now it's here and I feel terrible because A, it's happening because of a terrible, terrible reason. And B, it's terrible for the movies it's happening to because they can't make the money they used to make. And it's clear, the era of the billion-dollar movie is probably over for a while. Now, that doesn't mean their movies are going to be bad. Some of the best movies are made on shoestring budgets. I mean, the best Star Trek movies were made on small budgets. But it's going to be different for a while, and we just got to get used to it. Thomas, you never liked the Karate Kid. You know what, Thomas? You don't need to like the Karate Kid movie. I would suggest watching it. Like I said, Karate Kid movie would not have been in my top 10. It wouldn't have been in my top 20. It probably wouldn't have been in my top 50. I didn't actively hate the Karate Kid. It was a meh movie to me. That said, Cobra Kai is so much more than the Karate Kid movie ever was to me. If you haven't watched Cobra Kai because you weren't a big fan of Karate Kid movie, you owe it to yourself to try. You owe it to yourself to try it. The worst thing you're going to do is you're going to be out an hour of your time if you watch 2 episodes. If you get 2 episodes in and you're not liking it, then forget it, But if you're anything like me, I was hooked. I was hooked from the very first episode. What's his face says, I still ought to watch your STD review. even though I already know how great the episode was. It's up to you. What's this face? What's this face says Doomcock and Gary were solidly on board from the jump for the Expanse. I think that's probably true. They said they were. I wasn't, but Thomas, I thought original Lost in Space is zero woke. Original Lost in Space I've never seen. I'm talking about the Netflix Lost in Space reboot. Thomas says Mamo pray, kick bird of prey. Professor says bird of prey, have spaghetti for dinner. It's National Spaghetti Day. Not a bad idea. Super Blubberpuss says bird of prey. Sorry, I disagree with you on Lost in Space. First season was woke and bad. Second season was even more woke and worse episodes. The men are made to look like buffoons. I will give you in the first season, I would agree. In the second season, men save the day at least half the time. So I don't know how you would come up with that, but maybe we just saw it a little differently. Yosef says, Bird of Prey, I am convinced Cobra Kai will be the best. Cobra Kai will be the best Star Trek. No, nothing with Dr. Culber will ever be the best anything. What's this face? McWhatnot says, Bird of Prey, your reviews of STD are always multiple times better than the show. I'm not going to argue with you there. I think so too. Professor Brainy Specs, a super lover post Bird of Prey. I thought the second season was far less woke than the first. I agree. They definitely improved the second season. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, I have to wonder, does anyone actually truly enjoy all the woke schlock? I don't know. I don't know if anybody actually truly enjoys it, but it's there. Super Blubber Post says, Bird of Prey, you haven't seen the original Lost in Space? Oh, the pain. No, I never did. And Thomas says, Bird of Prey, they are making Dr. Cobra Medicine Man TV show. Well, if they are, I'm not going to be watching. Monty's Folly says, Bird, what mic are you using? This is a standard Blue Yeti. And I bought one of these covers to put on it. But otherwise, it's a standard Blue Yeti microphone. USB. Fed Docs is Bird of Prey because if no one does, this is a great example of the power of bullshittery. You know who enjoys it? Apparently, are the no, Sassy, not the doggies. The people who review it. The what are they called? The critics. The critics love it, apparently. Because anything that's woke, the critics go out of their way to make it, 9 or 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics, super fresh. The people, generally the people don't particularly like it. The people who claim to like it don't watch it to begin with because it doesn't fit in to their soy schedule or whatever. So, man, you'll find people on Twitter who say, yeah, I like that. But they don't watch. So it really doesn't matter. The only people who like it are the critics. And I would assume Hollywood themselves, where they all get to pat themselves on the back while they go to their award shows and get gift bags full of tens of thousands of dollars of gifts, most of which are like stuff they will never use and they just give to their close friends. Like, here, you can have this shitty, iPod. I've moved on from using an iPod now. Now I have my iPhone 26. Fed Doc says, the supposed people whom believe themselves the great and good. Absolutely. What's his face is shills. I believe the word you wanted was shills. I was looking for critics, but shills works well as well. Super Blubber pushes Bird of Prey. When I saw the man making fools of themselves down on the ship with the super women sailed on top like a boat. Yeah, it was the last one. I get you. That one was a tough scene. That was a tough scene. The Fed Docs is Bird of Prey. He has a word for them down there. Bullshit artists. That sailing scene in Lost in Space season 2 was easily the worst scene of season 2, in my opinion. But again, it didn't ruin the whole rest of the series for me. Fed Docs is also, we call them lossers. What's a losser? Critics, shills are lossers. That's possible. Sassy, what's the matter, baby? Oh, maybe laser ship. I'm not sure. But yeah, but I'm about to be ending. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out here with BedLife, our first BedLife of the new year. Well, no, our second BedLife of the new year. First Monday BedLife of the new year. First on-camera BedLife of the new year. I greatly appreciate it. Tomorrow I will be doing, I hope, a Space Engineers open line panel stream sometime in the afternoon. And actually be later in the afternoon. I've got an appointment at 3. So probably later in the afternoon. And we'll go from there. Tossers. Sorry, Fed Tossers. Thank you, Fed Doc. What's this? Thank you, What's This Face as well. Super Blubberpuss says, Bird of Prey, please try and watch the original Lost in Space. I'll try, Super Blubberpuss. Very busy schedule right now. Yosef says, thank you and take care. Talk to you later. Qapla, Yosef, take care. What's This Face says, that's Wankers, the Fed Doc. And Thomas is Bird of Prey. How can you do Space Engineers when you lost all your ships? You build them again. You build them again, Thomas. Build them again. So take care, the Fed Doc. Qapla all. Thank you for coming. Bird O Prey 5 out. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out birdoprey5.com, the new home of everything Bird O Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/birdoprey5 or on birdoprey5.com. Take care.